Welcome back, insiders. Let's talk tickers because dang, we had a lot of them moving today. I only traded 3, but I could have probably traded 7 or 8 because all of them had opportunities at one point in time. Most of my profits came from FAZE, and that was actually pre-market. At the market open, I basically only gave back on FAZE. I had a few wins, but I messed up a lot of good trades on this one. So this is going to be the deep dive for sure. I think we'll talk about these other two briefly as well. RVSN was just kind of crazy today. It was actually the first perfect setup I saw of the day after the market opened, and I just missed it. I think I could be up really nicely on RVSN if I got a little bit more aggressive. So I'm a little bit butthurt about that, but I think there's a great lesson there for everyone. So I'm up 508 today. But with the reg fee, so I don't pay commission. I got asked about this on the stream today. I don't pay commission. TD Ameritrade is commission-free brokerage, but you still pay exchange fees, which is like 0.001 cent, I think, per share. So when you trade tickers that are much cheaper, sub-dollars, you use a lot more share size. You know, instead of doing maybe 2,000 shares on a $5 stock, you're doing like 20,000 shares. So on some of these days, I think yesterday my reg fees were, okay, they were only $4, but one of these days they were like 12 or 13, and I didn't even do that many trades. So there is a little bit of that you want to take in consideration, but it barely dents the P&L. I remember my commissions used to be hundreds of dollars per day, and that made day trading, especially scalping, kind of unattractive. Now, what I was trying to avoid today is a lot like it's so hard to keep profits lately. A Wednesday last week, I had multiple times where I gave back half of my profits. And, you know, on Friday, I was up 400 and then I ended the day up only 130. On yesterday, I was up 350 and I ended the day down 146. So keeping profits is really important right now. Not really worrying about those tiny little fees. I don't think that's a big deal, but you know, I probably am only up like 495 or something today, not 508 because of those reg fees. I just wanted to clarify that. We had some questions on the stream, but yeah, keeping profits was tricky. And today, same situation. I was up today and then I gave back half of my profits and then I was back up and then I was up even more. I was close to 700 and then I started giving back profits again. And that's when, you know, when you start getting into that mood where you're giving back profits, or not mood, but let's just say phase, that's when you want to kind of wrap things up. That's why I said here, end of the day, giving back around 25% off the highs or so. Phase was a hell of a ticker, made most of that pre-market, but there were solid moves after the open as well. Anyway, I'm really happy to see all the momentum. So let's talk about phase, and let me go over here and scroll down. God, we had so many tickers today. And a lot of former gappers as well. A lot of tickers, RVSN, DWAC, SGMT, several more that were interesting to be trading. Yeah, even more. Actually, we'll talk about a few more as well. Anyway, what I want to focus on is FAZE, which had a catalyst, and esports, macro trend general, and then sponsorship deal. I really like that. And the float wasn't exactly small, but you know, sub-dollar tickers kind of have their own mind. So let's go ahead and check out what happened on this crazy ticker. Absolutely crazy. I mean, oh my God, I might have to hide my trades. I think it's always a good place to start on the daily. And this is what I really liked about phase, is the fact that over the 180 SMA we broke, and I was like, let's go. But it was a little bit tricky. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't as clear as I thought. So we had kind of like cloudy skies. I wouldn't say blue skies. Blue skies is usually when a ticker, if you look to the left and there's no resistance, which it kind of feels like here, but obviously there's this big discussion that we should talk about. So, you know, this ticker is getting diluted. It's got a lot of sell pressure. It's probably going to be bankrupt at one point. So there is a lot of upside pressure. And a lot of these sub-dollars are kind of looking like that. They're not those like clean new, you know, a couple years or a couple months old stock that's, you know, blue skies, all-time highs, and it's just breaking higher. No one knows how high it can go. Those are really fun. We haven't really been seeing that as much. But we are breaking out here, a lot of big resistance, and we are breaking through a lot of those price zones, those supply zones back to back to back. So that was really, really nice. Now coming here, let's go to the 5-minute chart. Let's hide some of these alerts. This ticker popped up around, you know, pretty much right away. And right out of the gates, we were popping up like 50%. It was really good. I could have, should have, would have probably got a little bit more aggressive already. I made a nice little win early on, and I just kept on trading this one. This is actually the price action was not bad for me. I was able to constantly buy low and I was selling into pops. I just wasn't trading with, you know, that 20,000 share size that I probably should have been doing. Even that is even kind of light. I should have been doing like 30, 40,000 share size. So for the fact that I think my average position size on this ticker was like $2,000, I think I did pretty good today on this one. You know, I'm up basically 25% based on my average position size, which is pretty good. Usually I don't go up much more than 10%. So in that regard, I did pretty good today. This is where I started giving back profits during the consolidation and sell-off, but I did have one really nice trade here that I wanted to share with you guys. And I was asked on the live stream as well, how did I find this trade? And this one was right here. So I bought here in this pullback and I sold on this pop. Let me hide my trades for a second. We basically were in this descending channel and I was focusing on this line at the time. This line I drew much later. And what we had here was a little bit of a rounded bottom coming in here. And the volume was very light. So we were popping back up to VWAP. We got rejected. We were pulling back with very light sell volume. And I sized into this for a look of this break of VWAP and the break of this downtrend. So this is the trade I made like $300 on. I literally had like a 10% trade. I bought it almost at the perfect low and sold it almost at the perfect top. This was a really, really nice trade for me. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm done with this ticker for now until we see a move back over VWAP. That's what we saw. I had some nice wins here, but I really butchered this area. I didn't butcher it because I didn't trade it, and that was really the butchering. I should have been trading this one. We were getting 5-minute breakouts, 1-minute pullbacks, and I did not trade any of it. I thought we were going to see a bigger pullback back to this range, but it didn't happen. I was constantly too conservative, and then I finally go for it, and I got caught in this flush. It wasn't the worst. My size wasn't that big, but still, then it pops up again, huge 25% move, and guess what? I trade this pullback looking for another pop, and I get flushed on again. And then I'm like in this mode where I'm getting, taking losses. I'm just like, ugh. I did actually have a nice little dip trade here, but I didn't get my fill, only 2,000 or 3,000 shares. So that was a little disappointing. But yeah, man, FAZE, crazy. A lot of these sub dollars, you got to be ready for the grind. You got to be ready to just, in a way, as dumb as it sounds, like hold and hope, because like it's choppy and you have to hold it for sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes or even longer, and that's really not my style. So that's my biggest problem trading these sub dollars by far, is just I'm too quick of a trader, which typically is really good for me. As you guys know, I make almost all my profits. Actually, I do make all my profits on tickers I hold below 2 minutes. So no surprise that that's kind of my like why if I'm holding for more than 2 minutes, I'm getting a little bit antsy. I'm like, ooh, like I shouldn't be doing this, and I just feel it. And that's I mean, look at this chart right here. I make most of my minutes for trades I hold under a minute, or most of my profits, and then under 2 minutes, and everything else except this awkward time zone right here is net negative. How crazy is that? And that's in the back of my head now when I'm trading. Is just like when I'm on minute 3 holding a ticker like FAZE, I'm just like, this is going to be a red trade. And I think that messes me up psychologically a little bit, because I know what my best strategies are. I know what my best trades are. So when I'm not making those quick profits, I start kind of overthinking it. And that's probably what it is, a little bit. But there was a time I was holding longer, and I do swing trading, so that's a little bit of a different strategy. But typically, front side, gap trader, and you don't really need to be holding more than 2-3 minutes. I mean, at that point, you should know if there's resolution. Typically, I know if the trade is going to be green within like the first few seconds. That's kind of like my trading style. Coming to RVSN, I just want to show you guys this open move. This is a former gapper as well that did really well today. You can see it here, or in the past, 1.2 million shares outstanding. So it is a classic low float. RVSN, I'm down $80 on it. Not a big deal. But I was scanning a bunch of tickers, and you guys could see it when you check out my live stream at the open. I'm basically just going through different tickers. We had so many tickers moving. I was like, where's that good setup? Where's that good setup? And I saw it right here. I saw the 5-minute breakout. I saw the 1-minute pullback. I saw this trend line here, and we are touching that trend line. And I was like, RVSN, this is it. This is the one I want to trade. But all that happened in my head when we were already like right here on this candle. Then we pulled back lightly here, and then we ripped. and I just could not get myself to buy this one high, which I'm kicking myself in the butt because I should have jumped on it. I thought we were actually going to get a second red candle here and then rip higher. So I had my limit orders here, and when this was the trade I really wanted today that I messed up. And I'm typically always I'm always looking for that perfect setup. Like, there's going to be a really good trade in the next 10 minutes or 20 or 30 minutes. I just got to find it. I got to be patient, and then when I see it, I want to get aggressive. I want to size into it. Boom, boom, boom. That's usually how I make most of my money, just like 1 or 2 or 3 trades. And that's those are the big winners, right? And it's by being patient. So I was a little bit upset. I missed that one. I think that could have made it easily a 1K day. I did eventually trade this one when we were having a micro pullback here on this, and I was looking to accumulate and then rip higher again, and I got flushed in. That was a little bit, trashy, a little bit horrible, and I didn't have much conviction trading RVSN after that, but it kept on pumping. Really choppy price action though, so I wasn't crazy about it. ESNC was also one of those tickers we were watching all day today, and it was just constantly ripping over VWAP. It was really exciting. I did go for this one pullback looking for continuation. I really liked it. I didn't get my full size here, but I still made a little bit of profit. I just was looking for maybe around 3,000 shares. So yeah, there was opportunity scattered everywhere today. A lot of people were trading FUN today, PHUN. A lot of people were trading Plug, PLUG. Plug, I would have a difficult time on just because it's a bit more of a large cap. But, I was just like, man, there's so much going on today. And I mean, look at all these tickers. NVVE as well, Plug, RUM, RVSN, we talked about, FAN, ESNC, FAZE, NVVE was also popping up, CYN was popping up. There was another ticker, OKTY or OKYT or something that was moving. So yeah, a lot of stuff. You had to be focused today. You had to be patient and not flipping from one ticker to the next too quickly. I like to have my tickers on my second screen, as you guys know, and kind of be a chameleon looking everywhere, but I was trying to figure out what's the best ticker to be focused on, and I think it probably was, at the end of the day, RVSN for sure, and it definitely was FAZE. So yeah, I had to slow down a little bit when trading this sub-dollar, especially when the floats aren't that high, because it has these really nice strong moves. And if I could just size in, especially when the 5 minutes looking good and we're still on a front side trend, and just let it ride for a little bit longer, let it do its thing, I think I could be doing much better. But I'm not concerned that I did give back off the highs. I think today was good practice, and the screen time was really helpful. And on top of it all, I'm just loving the fact that we're getting some action. There might be a lot to trade, not one clear gapper, but I'm liking the fact that there is stuff to trade. It makes me really happy. Hope you guys got some green as well. Let's pray for another beautiful trading session tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in and dropping that like. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao.